Welcome to week 3, guys. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor. I've got all the top ambassadors from every NFL YouTube channel. Check it out, guys. So they're in the queue. We've got Keep Pounding. We got Big Cat. We got Titan Upload. We got Faizan with the Bears. We got Kid Blue. We got Pack Daddy covering for Bossarowski. We got everybody here. Dose of Dion. Nothing but Niners in the house. Chisel the Donis. I can keep going. They're in the queue. They're ready to unleash, man. We're going to unleash the dragons, man. It's going to be crazy. That's an old song, by the way. Wow, I'm living the 90s again. Oh, my goodness. All right, listen, guys. For a lot of young people probably don't know what that is. All right, so listen, guys. I'm excited. NFL Week 3 is here, and we're going to get to it. Before we get into this, guys, I'm not sure if Scott the Doc is here yet. We're going to get him. We're going to talk about some injuries. He should be coming in. But we also got, I'm admitting him into the room right now. We're going to talk about the latest news and notes and injuries, and we're going to go into the trending news with Matt, our lead writer. So we're going to cover a lot here, guys, in this show. Again, starting off with the injuries because week 2 was insane. It was absolutely insane. We lost a lot of studs. We lost Saquon. We lost CMC. We lost Bosa. We're losing everybody. So in 4 minutes or less, I know it's going to be hard to talk about. Scott, we're going to get you in right away here. Talk about the news and notes. Let's get to it, man. With the injuries. Let's go to it.
All right. Like you said, man, I'm going to try to whip through this as quick as I can here. First off, George Kittle, we talked about him last week a little bit. Tight end for the 49ers. He's going to be a game time decision. That's something to monitor. You know, I don't know how well he's going to be to go yet. I think he still needs another week, but we'll see. Julio Jones, the Falcons wide receiver, also a game time decision. Something to keep an eye on. I think he'll be fine to go. I think he's going to push it a little bit. Waller, the tight end from Las Vegas, he's going to play. I think he might be another one where it's maybe limited snaps. Ruggs, the wide receiver from Vegas, same thing. His knee's still not 100%. He's one that even if he does play, you might want to avoid this week. Galladay, good news for him. The wide receiver from Detroit is active. He will play. Another good one, the Giants wide receiver, Golden Tate, active, will play. He's going to have to play a much bigger role with Saquon being out. Connor, the running back from Pittsburgh, he is active. Good to go, 100%. Start him. Brandon Cooks, quad injury. He's back. He is going to play. And last but not least, the big one, John Brown, a foot injury for the Bills. He is active. He will play this week.
All right, Scott. Thanks a lot, man. I mean, last week have you ever seen anything like last week, or was that like
No, but you know what? We're seeing the effects of not having a preseason and not having the proper amount of time to ramp up football activities. I mean, that's exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of quad injuries says it all.
You're going like 0 to 100 in like 1 week. There's no ramp up, like you said, right?
I'm all for no preseason games. That's totally fine. But we do need to have that time to hit, you know, a little bit, to have full contact, to have scrimmages at the very least, to get these guys ready for game time.
All right, Scott, we got to move on. We appreciate you as always. We'll see you next week. Let's move on to Matt. Matt, are you here? Some news that we should be aware of? You can talk injuries as well, but let's bring Matt on here.
Yeah, so one of the interesting stories that I'm kind of following right now is that in preparation for the Baltimore Ravens Kansas City Chiefs showdown on Monday night, the Chiefs have actually brought in former XFL superstar Jordan Ta'amu, and he's been running scout team for the Chiefs, simulating Lamar Jackson. So really anything they can do to get any sort of competitive advantage over such a huge game in the NFL for week 3 is going to be really interesting to see. Interesting story too. I don't know if Scott the Doc covered it, but the Los Angeles Chargers are actually investigating the incident that happened with Tyrod Taylor. They're investigating their doctor for malpractice, as he was actually injected in the lung and his lung was punctured, which prompted their rookie quarterback to have to step in just minutes before the game. So Tyrod Taylor's going to be out again this week.
I see a lawsuit happening right there. Huge lawsuit. Huge.
Well, it's interesting because I've been following a couple of different media outlets this week, kind of covering that story. And a lot of former players have come out and said that it's 50-50. So they're either warned that this can happen, or the doctors just go ahead and do it. So there definitely could be a lawsuit pending here. Like I said, the Chargers are investigating it. We have some other injuries to get to. So Devontae Adams is listed as doubtful with a very minor hamstring strain. Looks like he's going to be a game time decision. Bills linebackers Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano are going to be back today against the Rams, but they will be without their 2019 draft pick, Zach Moss. So it looks like Devin Singletary is going to be the number 1 back, and it looks like TJ Yeldon will be coming in as like the 3rd down catching back. And we're still kind of monitoring the MetLife turf situation, as last week there was a lot of injuries that may or may not have been tied to it. It looks like the San Francisco 49ers have actually inspected the turf, and a couple of players called it trash.
Wow.
But it looks like they're going to go ahead and play on it this week. So it'll be interesting to see if any other injuries come out of that particular game.
Man, thanks, Matt, man. Appreciate it. This is such a pivotal week, guys. Very important because a lot of teams are 2-0. There's a lot of 0-2 teams. Nobody wants to go down 0-3. Nobody wants to do that. This is such a pivotal week, so we're going to be watching a lot of matchups. So let's dive into it, Matt. Thanks as usual. Latest news and notes, Scott the Doc. Let's go to the Bears. Faizan coming on here. We got Zach covering the Falcons. Let's get to this one. So let's start off with Faizan and the Bears. Man, Montgomery had a breakout game last week. What are some expectations going into week 3? Faizan, let it go.
Listen, Joe, a lot of people said, the Bears haven't beat anybody, but I'll take 2-0 any day of the week over being 0-2. W's are delicious, and I'll eat them every day of the week, especially twice on Sunday. So the Bears are 2-0. They beat the Lions. They beat the Giants, and now they take on a Falcons team, which has a Swiss cheese secondary. I'm talking holes everywhere. They just lost their rookie cornerback, A.J. Terrell, to a positive COVID test, by the way. And for those of you wondering, the Bears-Falcons game is still going to be on. They did contract tracing, and everybody else tested negative for it. So I'm expecting a huge game from Mitchell Trubisky and Allen Robinson. Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott ripped apart this defense. They ripped them apart. So there's no reason that Mitchell Trubisky shouldn't. And I'm not saying he's on that level, but I am saying that he has played pretty good football over the first 2 weeks. And then when we just take a look at the fact that the Falcons could be without Julio Jones, I don't know how people aren't hammering the +3 on the Bears today. They are underdogs for some reason. They are clearly the better team, and I expect them to win today 31-21 and go up 3-0 the season. I
think this is the upset. I think Atlanta, even though they're the favorite, are going to upset. I know they've got Gurley. He's done nothing. He's got to step up. They've got Ridley. They've got Gage. They've got other weapons. Matt Ryan's throwing for like 8,000 yards a game. I think Vegas knows something we don't, and I think it's going to be down to Matt Ryan versus Mitch Trubisky, and I think, honestly, I really genuinely feel Falcons could win this game. What do you think, Zach? Do you want to dive in on this real quick, and we'll get your final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the Falcons can win this game, but it's going to come down to their defense is absolutely horrible. Their passing defense, and they're without AJ this week. So it's going to be, can Mitch Trubisky take advantage of this team?
Yes.
And he very well could. He did it with the Lions in the fourth quarter. And if he can be good, that's going to be great for the Bears. But it's going to come down to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's going to have to run this offense. He could be without Julio Jones. He's going to have to find other guys open. Calvin Ridley could have a huge week again. Yeah. He's done very well so far this season, and they need to get Todd Gurley more involved. And if they can do that, I think they have a chance to win. And even if they start out strong, as we saw last week, the Falcons, they need to continue playing with that same pressure throughout the whole game, and they can't let up against the Bears, as the Bears have already shown they can come back from a deficit.
The big question is, can the Bears stop the Falcons offense? And that's the big question. I'm going to say they can neutralize. I don't think they can fully stop them. They could probably slow them down a bit. This is something to watch. I mean, I want to go to quick 2 seconds here. A couple people here. Bears cheated against the Lions. Somebody's saying Dwayne Mabin saying that. A lot of people say that Bears suck. Bears only have an okay defense. That's it. That's from JS.
Joe, let me just say one quick thing right here, okay? Everybody loves the fact that the Falcons have put up all these points, right? All these points. Matt Ryan's 700 yards, 6 TDs. And what do they have to show for it? 0-2. No wins.
Fair enough.
The Bears haven't put up a lot of points, but their defense has been solid, and their offense has been pretty solid to start the year. 2-0.
So there you go.
The Falcons have played a little bit better teams than the Bears have.
They've
the Seahawks.
They've choked it too.
Well, there you go.
They did choke last week, but they played the Seahawks week 1, and the Seahawks are one of the best teams in the league.
You can only play who's on your schedule, so
the Bears have had it easy so far. We'll see how it goes.
All right, we're gonna move on here, guys. Let's move on here, and I'm excited about this matchup. I think this, next to pretty much the Raiders and the Patriots, next to the Ravens and the Chiefs, this is the matchup of the week. Well, not really. It's Buffalo, but you can't deny and respect the 2-0 Buffalo. Let's talk, Dan. Let's talk Rams. Let's talk about it. And mind you, let's start off with Trent. I want to bring Trent. Can we bring Trent on first for a second? Trent, where are you? I want to show this pompous, cocky look on his face. And the thing is, I was saying, what an arrogant dude. But the dude, like the guy, they won last week. I'm like, dude, you're being arrogant. Come on. And they won. So where are you, Trent? I got to commend you. I'm bowing down.
Well, right now. I mean, I'm just chilling.
I'm bowing down.
I'm just chilling. I'm in SoFi Stadium where they found a dead body last week.
We're not worthy.
I don't know if you guys heard about that. So it's a good thing we're not playing here. But I'll tell you this: the Rams under McVay are 5-0 in 1 p.m. Eastern times. In 1 p.m. Eastern time games, outscoring opponents 185-89 and averaging over 30 points a game. So, I mean, they've played Dallas. We've played Philly. I mean, the Bills had a really tough schedule to start the season. The Jets, the Dolphins, Josh Allen looking good, threw for 300 yards his first time, and then 400 yards his first time doing that, where Jared Goff has like 15 300-yard games and 5 400-yard games. So it's cute, Josh Allen. We respect Josh Allen. But it's going to, at the end of the day, it's going to be a good game. Rams will get this W. I'm not worried.
But it's just funny. Last week, you just came in really confident. You had the swag going. I'm like, dude, relax. You want to know. And you guys proved that you guys crushed who was it? The Eagles you played last week. You crushed them last week. So
we ran for 192 yards. The Rams are third in the NFL in rushing. It's going to be the Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown show.
Yeah.
And then, Goff is just going to pick on whoever Trey White isn't guarding. So, that's, I think, the recipe for the Rams right there.
All right, Dan, you got a defense here. Mr. 2-0, you got to be coming in with a little more pep in your step.
Yeah. So first off, what I really want to say is leading passer in the league and a 70% completion rate. Not bad for an inaccurate quarterback. Am I right, everybody?
Yeah.
Am I right? Josh Allen has reached his final form, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be on full display. Listen, this Rams defense is absolutely no joke, especially with Jalen Ramsey, and so especially with Aaron Donald. But frankly, I'm not scared of their CB2. I'm not scared of an undrafted free agent. I really think John Brown's going to eat today, as well as Cole Beasley. Now, last week, everyone was sort of afraid of sort of the middle of the field for the Bills. And so we missed out on Milano and we missed out on Edmonds, but both of them are back. And we're about to absolutely lock down that middle of the field, and the Bills are going 3-0 today, yo.
Wow.
Is this a Milano?
Matt Milano.
Oh.
Matt Milano, my friend. Both of them are back. Last week when we played the Dolphins, that was the largest reason why Fitzpatrick was able to absolutely throw for over 300 yards. But our full defense is back, baby. It's happening.
No, I hear you. I hear you. The Dolphins are super tough, man.
Oh, my God, Trent. Oh, my God, man.
Super tough. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's it. I mean, anything else? So I'm getting a score prediction here. Can I get it from both of you guys? Let's start with Dan since you're on. Final score prediction for week 3.
28-27, Tyler Bass makes a last-second field goal to win the game.
Humble. Look at that, Trent. He's not really digging into you. He's being humble. He knows the Bills are going to win, but not by much. What about you, Trent?
I say 33-24, Rams win it because I'm just going with the data. I just follow the data. That's what the data says.
Wow. Okay. I'm seeing a little swag for both of you guys. I think both of you guys are going to be humble next week. One of you guys is going to be humble anyway, so it's going to be very interesting to see who that is. One's going to be an Adesanya, and one's going to be a Costa. If you guys watched the UFC yesterday, who's the Adesanya here? We're going to find out in these matchups, and man, it's interesting. So thank you, Trent. Thank you, Dan. Any last words, guys?
Let's go, Buffalo.
There you go. Let's move on here. Washington football team's ambassador is not with us today, and neither is Cleveland. So, JT, do you want to just jump in here, talk some Cleveland Browns here, and anyone want? And then we'll have Zach cover Washington. I'm putting Zach and JT on the spot here. Do you guys want to cover these teams briefly in 2 minutes, please?
Let's switch. Let's switch.
Yeah, let's switch.
All right, you guys can switch. All right, fair enough. Go ahead.
All right, you go first.
All right, so for Washington, they're missing Steven Sims Jr., who is their second best wide receiver. He's questionable. I hope he doesn't play in this game. So my guy Terry McLaurin gets all the fantasy points. You also have offensive lineman Morgan Moses, who is also questionable to play in this game. Another offensive lineman, Shajeet Charles, he's going to be out, and Cole Holmcomb, the linebacker, he's also going to be out as well going into this game.
How about those Browns, man? Are they for real? Zach, I mean, what a performance we saw last week. I mean, are they the real deal? They're going to be tested today defensively, I think, or
They're
offensively.
definitely going to be tested on the offensive side here. The Washington team has a very good defensive front. So the Browns are going to have to get the ball out real quick. Otherwise, Baker Mayfield, he's going to be running for his life if they don't get the ball out quick. I think their offense really meshed last week, and they were playing the Bengals, so it's not like they're playing like a Super Bowl contender or anything. But I think it's a good stepping stone there. And I think that with the run game, they have the best running back duo in the league in the backfield there. And I think one big thing this week is that Denzel Ward he was on the field earlier, and he looks like he's going to play this week. He was questionable with an injury, so I think that's going to be, I don't think, because he's obviously he's not 100%, but I think he's going to be able to help stop Terry McLaurin. But I think Terry McLaurin will still have probably a good game.
Best running back duo. Are we forgetting about Pollard and Zeke? Is there no respect on Zeke's name? We're going to get the Cowboys guy on.
Pollard's not a number one running back. Kareem Hunt has proven he can be a number one running back, and Nick Chubb isn't a great running back. That's the best duo in the league.
That's true. But put some respect. But Zeke outweighs both those guys combined, right? Come on.
Zeke's better than Chubb and Hunt, but Chubb and Hunt together are better than Zeke and Pollard.
I guess so. I guess you can make an argument there. All right, let's move on here. We got to move on to the Vegas Raiders. I missed the Titans. We're going to come back to Titans and Vikings. I jumped over them. Vegas Raiders and New England. What up, guys? Let's start off with the Vegas Raiders. Where are you, Vegas?
What up? I'm right here. What's going on?
Bring the heat, man. Where's Colby? Colby's chill and relaxed over there. Let's get, can I get a quick shot at Colby? Are you there?
Yeah, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Listen, this is a huge matchup. I'm excited about this. Vegas Raiders have a lot of swag going into this. What are the Patriots going to do to beat these guys?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to play complementary football. I mean, they're going to be Bill Belichick, the New England Patriots. I think this offense is just going to continue to pump like it's been the first 2 weeks. I mean, look, no offense here to the Raiders, because I do think the Raiders are a hot team right now. I think that they are an improved team, and I think that they added pretty nice personnel, which, believe it or not, I actually got a lot of hate for over on my channel when we did our collab for saying, but they did add some nice personnel that I can respect, but they're not the Seattle Seahawks. The New England Patriots should have won that game 1 yard line, and the New England Patriots are coming out 2-0.
That was a bad play call.
One of the best team in the leagues. You're right. I don't agree with the play call, but literally 1 yard and we're 2-0, beating one of the best teams in the league. Offense was rolling. Defense was having some issues, but Russell Wilson is much better than Derek Carr. You can't make the comparison whatsoever. So I'm not too worried about defensive wise. I mean, slightly, look, Derek Carr is doing well. He's doing pretty good, but he's, of course, not Russell Wilson. You guys do have some really good tight ends, running backs out of the backfield, so I do have some concerns about that, but I do expect this defense to perform a lot better than it did last week. And again, the offense is going to cook.
Before you get into this, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. In the comments, guys, leave your comments when these ambassadors are going on who you think is going to win. We want fan votes in the comments. Let's make it interactive. Let's get to it. So sorry, continue, Darian.
This is my thing here. Y'all gave up almost 154 rushing yards to a Seattle Seahawks rushing running back that just was okay. Chris Carson is good, but he's not Josh Jacobs. Let's just be real here. Y'all rushing defense is just not that great. And we talked about it on the show when it came to your linebackers and your defensive line. But I feel like Josh Jacobs, I know that he had a hip injury, but he's going to be a workhorse. He's going to be a workhorse. And I don't know if then Waller, they might say he limit his snaps, but when he's out there, he's a mismatch for any linebacking core in football. It's a fact. It's a fact there. So with my Raiders, yeah, we're banged up, but the last 2 weeks, nobody had us winning. And I'm still going to go out on a limb. Nobody have us winning this game. The only thing for real, when it comes down to it, with our defense, like I said to you on your show before, Colby, that when it comes to your corners and our receivers, that's going to be the key matchup. Because, I mean, Gilmore probably going to have to be on Waller at some point, but we do have other wide receivers that can get open. And we saw that last week against a good New Orleans Saints defense. So I'm very excited for this game. I'm ready for this game. If we could contain Cam Newton, we win this game.
I hear a lot of people saying the Pats are going to win this game. I haven't heard one person say.
Keep underestimating us. Y'all been doing it for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we proved y'all wrong in the last 2 weeks. That's all I have to say. Keep doubting us.
I will say this. Both teams are dealing with injuries. That's just going to be it. Obviously we're both dealing with some offensive line issues, but I think you're dealing with that a little bit more. Lucky for you, I do have question marks about the Patriots pass rush, their defensive line. So I think you have that going for you, but if there's any time that they're going to get that going, I think it's going to be now. Also, as for Waller, I don't see the linebackers necessarily being too much of an issue for that. You're going to bring safeties such as Kyle Duggar, possibly the rookie, Adrian Phillips playing that hybrid safety role. You're going to be seeing safeties on Waller. You're going to be seeing possibly double teams on him. You have Ruggs out of the game. I think that's a really big loss. And again, the New England Patriots have a really good secondary to be able to match up with that. Again, the big reason that it got exploded was because Russell Wilson was playing MVP level, was throwing really good balls out there, extremely accurate. And you can't compare Derek Carr again to Russell Wilson. While I think that this will be a good game, it's just not going to be the type of matchup that happened last week.
And you can't at all. You can't at all. But I can say if you want to put a rookie on Darren Waller, that is a bad matchup if you want to do that. Because he's going to exploit the rookie. He's going to exploit it. The guy's almost the same size as LeBron James playing football. So just imagine if you want to put a rookie on Darren Waller, but I feel like our receivers is going to step up. I think Brian Edwards is still a big receiver that didn't get his shine yet, and we saw some flashes from him in Monday Night Football. Yeah, our offensive line is banged up. That is fine, but I think our offensive line coach, Tom Cable, has everybody playing a different position and practicing at every position on the offensive line. So when you plug them in, they already know what their assignments are. So I'm just excited for this game. I can't wait.
All right, we got to move on here. Final score here, Darian, please, from the Raiders. What's the final score?
30-27 Raiders.
How about you, Colby? What's your final score here?
17-28.
All right. For the Raiders?
No, sir. No, sir.
No. Let's go Josh Jacobs. I got him on my fantasy teams. I'm rooting for Josh Jacobs. I know his hip was a little banged up, but he's good to go, right, Darren? He's good?
Yeah, he's good to go.
He is one tough guy, man. I'm telling you. All right, we got to shift gears, guys. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Let's move on here to the Tennessee Titans and the Vikings. We got two big teams going at it today. Well, actually, the Vikings are 0-2 here. Man, let's start off with the Vikings. What is going on, man, with the Vikings?
It's coaching. I'm going to be honest with you. Has Zimmer lost his edge in a modern NFL that has changed a lot since he started coaching? And then Gary Kubiak, right? I mean, if you've watched any of the Vikings games the first 2 weeks, you have to realize that the play calling seems off. Two safeties back to back. Someone's maybe relearning how to call the offense. Outside of that, it's a young defense. We lost Anthony Barr. I'm not quite sure what to expect today. Sometimes Kirk Cousins has a great rebound. I do think the words from Kirk before the start of the season, if I die, I die, is going to go down. We should be selling T-shirts, if I die, I die, because this guy's dying every week right in front of us.
One guy's saying here in the comments from, who is this? 704 Bound saying Vikings don't have an offensive coordinator anymore. Is this correct?
Well, it depends on how you feel about Gary Kubiak. I would think anyone thought when we lost, the coach to the Browns,
Stefanski,
we all felt good about Kubiak. I'll be honest with you. I think we all thought, hey, great. A lot of us probably thought that's the transition to head coach after Zim retires. It's hard to watch right now. The play calling has been atrocious. I don't know why they're not in two tight end sets. I don't know why they're not giving the cook the ball more. I don't know why they're trying to stretch the field right now. We'll see today. There's been some talk they might go back to the two tight end sets and run the ball more. We'll see what happens.
We appreciate it, William. Thank you. Let's move on here to the Titans. You guys are going against the Titans. Mark, what is going on, man? Let's talk about Ryan Tannehill. Everybody was sleeping on Ryan Tannehill except for two people. I think it was just you and me. Honestly, Mark, I think it was like you and me all offseason. Yeah. Literally. Just us.
MVP? I mean, does that ring a bell for any of you? I mean, 6 touchdowns, 120 passer rating average. I mean, what more does he have to prove? I mean, this guy's on NFL Network all week, and they are ripping him and saying they still don't believe. I mean, come on. I mean, what more do you want from him?
And without A.J. Brown, right? A.J. Brown is banged up. That's crazy.
And I think he's going to be out a while. now. So that's a scary thing. Again, another week. I'm going to tell you, Corey Davis, I know, but he only was throwing the ball like 4 times last week. He did drop one, but he did get a touchdown. So hopefully he'll bounce back today. But I'll tell you what, that Minnesota team is scary. I know the fans are down a little bit in Minnesota. The Titans have not beat Minnesota at Minnesota since 1992, Joe. And that's the only time we've ever beat them in our franchise history in Minnesota. That's something to keep note on. So we'll see what happens today. But again, Minnesota, if they can run the ball, they've been trailing. Like they get behind early and then they have to play a different element. If they can keep the game close, which I think this game will be relatively close. I mean, Cook's 4th in the league with yards per rush. I think he's around 5.1 yards per rush or something like that. So the Titans are going to have their hands full for sure.
How many rushing yards for Derrick Henry this week?
Well, Evans returns, the rookie. So that's huge because he'll be able to spell him a little bit more. Derrick just being on overload right now. So maybe the Vikings will respect Ryan Tannehill, which may open up Derrick Henry. So hopefully Henry will bounce back, go over 100 this week.
And
if you don't play Derrick Henry in your fantasy league this week, the Vikings defensive tackles are a disaster. I'm just being honest. If the Titans don't just take the ball and turn around and give it to Henry first, second, third down and just keep running it up the middle, then hey, Vikings have a shot if they want to play passing game with us.
Yeah. I mean, I think Henry's going to run wild this week. I definitely predict that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let's move on here to the Patriots. Sorry, we already went to the Patriots. 49ers and the Giants. 49ers and Giants. Why don't we start off with who's in here? Mike, is it, from the 49ers today?
Yes, sir. We in here, baby. Let's go.
Listen, hold on. Let me just grab my back here. Oh, through my back. Oh, there goes my shoulder. There goes. You guys are the cripples, Liz. And did you guys see that? You must have seen those memes going around where they have your logo replaced with one of those wheelchairs from the handicap wheelchairs. I mean, you guys are a mess. What happens this week? Please tell us.
Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy. We are down our starting quarterback, our first and second string running back, our number one corner, both of our top edge rushers, right? Our starting inside linebacker and our center is still a little banged up. And guess what? We're still favorites, man. The Giants don't stand a chance. It's getting pretty ugly out there. I don't understand how it's possible you can have all these guys injured. By the way, George Kittle has been ruled out. Our starting tight end, all pro tight end, all those guys are at home watching this game just like me, and they're still favorites? Come on, man.
You're making that that spread look really appealing. I'm thinking Giants to cover 3 after what you just told me. I don't know. I'm thinking Giants. I mean, are we kind of sleeping on Devontae Freeman here?
Devontae Freeman sleeping on himself. He just woke up, actually. He flew out there just now for the game, man. This guy hasn't played. No one wanted him. He's going to feel like he's got something to prove. And it's because they're a little worried about how Lewis has been doing. So I understand. I get how it's going, but I'm going to shut up because we have our guy here. Gio's pretty cool, so I'm going to shut up and let him get his piece.
Yeah. Listen, I will be honest. I'm not very confident in this game, but with all the injuries, I think we are given a chance now. Listen, this is going to be a really close game, in my opinion. Contrary to other belief, but this is going to be a really good game as far as the defenses go. Both teams are top 5 in passing yards allowed, so both teams aren't allowing much in the passing game. James Bradbury actually leads the NFL with 6 passes defensed for the Giants, so I have a feeling both these teams aren't going to be able to pass the ball whatsoever. The Giants, that's not a good thing for the Giants because they're not very good at running the ball, as they are dead last in running the ball, but I think this is going to be a good game. I think the Giants do have a chance with all the injuries due to the 49ers. It sucks that we don't have Saquon Barkley because that would have been a really good chance to take advantage of the beat up D line that the 49ers have. But we have Devontae Freeman. We'll see what happens with him. I predicted to be more of a running back by committee type deal, but I have confidence in my team. I don't think we're going to go out there and win, but I definitely think we're going to go out there and compete.
Even their own kind don't believe in them guys. On the Giants, they don't even believe.
they haven't shown me anything. Sometimes being a good fan is being a realistic fan. I'm just going by what I've seen the past 2 weeks. They've shown some flashes, but we're going to get the 49ers team that has very good coaching. So I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be rooting for my team. I think we'll surprise some folks. But
I got a question: is Freeman starting? Because I was one of the guys that fell victim to the Saquon Barkley injury. Is Freeman starting? Will he get the reps? I would think they should, right?
Yeah, he's going to start. He's going to get the majority of the reps. I don't think they're going to give the guy like 15 carries or 15 touches just because he just got there. And I think they want to see what they have in Deion Lewis and Wayne Gallman if they split all the carries out. But he's going to get the majority of the carries. You'll see Devontae Freeman a lot more often than Deion Lewis or Wayne Gallman.
What's your stat prediction? What's the game score?
Oh, man, this sucks. All the Giants fans probably going to get mad at me for this, but I had it 2016 Niners.
Whoa.
That's realistic. They have not scored more than 16 points all year, and they had Barkley.
Right.
Be real, man. I respect that, man. I'm going to say the Niners put up a little bit more than that, though. Give me 24-16.
Hold on. Is Kittle even in, Mike, or no?
What's that?
Is Kittle playing today?
No, Kittle is out today. Kittle will not play today.
Who the hell's catching the ball?
Jordan Reed, baby. 2 touchdowns last week. Come on, man. You already know what's going on.
So the irony in this, the most crippled tight end of all time is the only healthy player you have. I've never seen this before. It's unreal.
And the Giants,
Also, the 49ers have a rookie wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk, who's got a lot of rapport with backup quarterback Nick Mullins. Look for him to have a solid day, probably 5 or 6 receptions.
All right, guys. We appreciate you guys as always. Thank you very much, Mike and Gio. We appreciate you guys. Good luck in the game, and let's go Devontae Freeman for fantasy. Woo! That's the only stock I got in this game. All right, so let's go on here. Let's go to the Bengals and Eagles. So we're gonna have JT. Are you there? You covering? We got Zach covering. Oh, we got an empty table there. You guys are seeing it. JT, where are you at, man?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
We're going to have, I think, Zach. We're just dark there. You need some light on you. There you go. He's got to go get some light. While we do that, where's Zach? Zach, you here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
You're going to have you guys cover the Bengals and Eagles here.
No, the matchup of the teams that can't seem to win.
Wentz, he sucks. Let's be honest, guys. Wentz, he's not good. And if he doesn't do well this week, I don't know what to tell you. This is the week that I get to rip into Carson Wentz and that $128 million deal that I've been talking about for years about how, or whatever, it's been a year and a half. When did he get signed on that? But this is the week. Is he for real? If you don't do it against Cincy, I feel sorry for you. So how are the Eagles going to do here, Zach?
Yeah, I think that Carson Wentz definitely has to prove himself this week. As you see, the Browns offense looked really good against the Bengals defense last week. So if Carson Wentz can't do anything this week, I think that I actually don't know what's going on because he's looked so good in the past, and just this year, the offense, the whole team doesn't seem to be clicking. I honestly can't tell you why, but Miles Sanders looked really good last week. I think that's one positive for the Eagles. Miles Sanders, he did great. He ended up with like 17 fantasy points. I expect him to have another good game this week.
I love Miles Sanders, by the way, for fantasy. Huge upside this week. Continue. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, and I think in the passing game, I think Deshaun Jackson could have a big game. If Carson Wentz is going to have a good game, I think Deshaun Jackson will also have a good game. Zach Ertz is going to be his number one target as per usual. And Dallas Goedert, with Alshon Jeffrey out, they still don't have a great wide receiver core there.
JT, what do you think of those Bengals, man? Burrow looking good. I like Drew Sample. Mixon can't get it going. What is going on? What are the issues with the Bengals offense that they just can't get it going? Can you kind of clear this up for us, JT?
Well, the thing with Joe Mixon, I was kind of telling people that Joe Mixon was a little bit overrated because he had 1,000 yards, but when you look at it, it's not really hard to have 1,000 yards in today's NFL. Like, it's just like 1,000 yards is 62 rushing yards per game. So Joe Mixon, you sprinkle in a couple of 100-yard performances here and there, and then you continue the 60-yard performances. That's how you get an easy 1,000 yards. And plus, you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, I think they're setting Joe Burrow up for failure. I mean, 61 times. I got no problem with a team throwing the football that much behind that offensive line. He might be parking in the handicap parking if they keep that up, man. But I mean, for the Eagles, if you got Miles Sanders, I would start him because the Bengals have the worst linebacking core in the NFL. And plus, Juno Atkins still isn't going to be playing. Mike Daniels, he's questionable to play. So, I mean, I expect this to be a high-scoring affair. I mean, I would take Philadelphia to win this game simply for the fact that I do think they are the better team. And Joe Burrow basically just carrying this team on his back. So, I mean, I probably have to go Philadelphia.
Wow.
Don't really have that much confidence in Cincinnati.
Wow. All right, guys, we appreciate you. I'm not thinking Drew Sample has a big week this week. He looks like Burrow is really gravitating to those tight ends. Do you agree with that, JT?
A big reason why is because the tight ends, I mean, like, they're just an easy 5 yards. And Joe Burrow, when you go back and you watch the film from that Cleveland game, he knows how bad this offensive line is, which is why he averaged 5.6 yards per attempt, because when you don't have a good offensive line, you want to get the ball out quick. So I do think he's going to favor his tight ends really heavily this game.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I love him. I love Drew Sample for this week, man. Get a sample of Drew Sample. All right, man. So, Zach, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you. JT, thank you. Let's move on. Let's bring some heat now, guys. We're going to bring some heat. We are talking about the Texans and the Steelers. And I know these ambassadors. Hold on. Let me buckle up my seats here. And we'll start off with the Texans here, Mr. 0-2 here. Where are you, Ruben? I know you're bringing the heat. You there? Ruben, okay, I guess he's not bringing it. We'll start off with Chisel the Don.
I'm bringing it, Joe. My fault.
There he is.
Players mess up. It's all good.
There you are. What's going on, man? You look like you're in the zone there. You got your helmet. You've been talking all this stuff. Chisel the
I'm ready for this Chisel Adonis Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm ready. The Houston Texans, this is your Super Bowl. If you lose, your season's over. You got your back against the wall. You got to come out against Pittsburgh, and you got to beat that. As simple as that.
I got to say, that helmet is as ridiculous as the record of the Houston Texans so far, man. Chisel, you're shaking your head over there. I mean, what do you think? What do you think of this matchup and that helmet?
Well, for one, I'm happy that he's wearing a helmet. That's great. He might as well. Everybody's going to need a helmet over there because Steelers is going to thrash him. I'll say that much. And he said it's going to be their season. It's their Super Bowl this game. Well, looks like he's going to be looking like the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to be looking like the Los Angeles Rams. He's going to be looking like the Patriots against the Eagles. Pretty much you're taking an L. Your season is over tonight. All right, come 4:15 p.m., just pack up the bags. Might as well just call it quits. It's over. You guys are going to be 0-3. All right. You're talking about a quarterback who's pretty much spent the entire season on his back. If I'm not mistaken, him and Carson Wentz are tied right now for the most sacks allowed, at least the offensive line, that is. Texans couldn't block a soul. Joe, me, everybody on the FTFN network can show up and probably bring Deshaun Watson down because we'll all be able to get back there. Watson's a magician. He can dodge people all day, but there's going to be 11 bodies getting to this man. People in coverage may possibly go and get a sack. The Texans front line, absolute garbage. They can't stop a soul. David Johnson on the ground, he'll give you some fantasy points, but touchdowns, it's not going down like that. There's no receivers at all. They gave away D-Hop for a pack of condoms and maybe some, planting chips. The defense for the Texans gave up 30-plus points the past 2 weeks. The Chiefs gave them 33. The Ravens gave them plus 30. Pittsburgh's getting it together on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to kick their ass. Bottom line, the only way you're going to see the Texans go out there and walk away with any sort of points, defensive production, anything on the win column is in Madden. All right, Pittsburgh's gonna win. You're gonna see a whole lot of terrible towels moving, and it's over for the Texans, man. Just pack it up. Might as well go cry in the car right now because the guys is losing.
Wow. They ain't gonna do a damn thing. They ain't gonna do a damn thing. What's gonna happen? Deshaun Watson go to Heinz Field and show us why he's elite. J.J. Watt 2 sacks last week. He's gonna take old ass Ben, bake that, bring Ben Tyler, break it in half. That's exactly what's going to happen, Adonis.
I'm telling you, it's not going to go down. There's only going to be one pair of Watts that's working. Derek Watt had a safety last week. TJ Watt had 2.5 sacks. We're going to cut off the utility bill. There's not going to be any electricity on the Watt side for the Texans. It's only going to be working for Pittsburgh. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a mauling. It's not going to be good. Make sure there's no children who's watching this game at all because it's going to be cruel and unusual punishment for Texans fans. It's not going to be good for you guys.
Failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're
telling you right now. Grab yourself a towel, get you something to cry on into because it's going to be a thrashing.
It's what's going to happen, Chisel. Look, it's every week this Houston Texans team has gotten better in any way, shape, or form, and I'm sorry.
You know what? You're right. They have gotten better at losing. And it's going to continue this week because it's going to be 3 straight weeks, nothing but L's. Last year, if I'm not mistaken, you guys started 0-3. You were able to make it to the playoff. Your season starts next week, but prepare tonight to leave with an L. Come 4:30, you're going to be looking at the dinner table, staring at everybody in your house like, damn, we lost again.
I'll tell you what, Chisel. If we lose this game, I'll shave my beautiful hair I got here.
Get ready to be bald. I'll tell you that right now. You should never said that. Get ready to be bald.
Fan to fan. If we lose, I'm shaving this beautiful mane I got.
Oh my goodness. Listen, hold on a second. Vegas is saying that the Steelers are only a 4-point favorite. So maybe, Chisel, the way you're making it sounds like a slaughter fest, but maybe the Texans keep it close. It's a desperate team here, Chiseled. I think
it is a desperate team, but I'm telling you, the only way it's going to happen is they're playing Madden. They better pray something happens to Big Ben and he goes out there and decides to go and masturbate before the game. He's got an elbow injury. He's not going to be able to go out there and perform, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a mauling. That Pittsburgh defense might just leave with 2 touchdowns. They're going to have at least 6 sacks, bar none. Don't be surprised if you see TJ Watt go out there and give you 8 sacks on the day. He may possibly break Derek Thomas's record for the most sacks in one game. I have no confidence in this Texans offensive line to be able to protect Watson.
Put up your beard for the hair.
Put up my beard for the hair? Oh, no, you bet on yourself. I am not part of this. Okay, you will be bald by the end of this season. I'll tell you that much.
It's going to be mauling. Everything is going to be ass kicking. Put up the beard.
Yeah, there's no confidence there, Chisel. That's a lot of trash.
I got the confidence. I'm just not going to take out the Clippers. I'll tell you that right now. That is on yourself.
Fair enough.
You decide to put your hair on the line. Your hair will be bald by the end of this afternoon.
Hell nah. Come next Sunday, it's going to be beautiful, and I hope to see that chin bare ass, baby.
All right, we're done here, guys. We got to move on to the Jets and the Colts. That's a tough act to follow because I'm the Colts, and we got Ian. That's a tough. We should just go to another team. We should bring Big Cat in and the Chargers, but let's go to the Jets and the Colts here. Thank you, guys. That was intense. All right, so Ian. Man, I mean, I'm not going to be able to top that, but I will tell you that the Jets suck. Let's be honest here. I don't know what to tell you. You better bring out the towels or bring out the pack of condoms, whatever Chisel just said, just duplicate that with the Colts and the Jets. I mean, what do you got to say about that? Huh?
Well, I mean, you said the Jets suck. I'll sit here and tell you the same exact thing. I mean, through the first 2 weeks of the NFL season, there's not a team worse than the Jets. And I get the whole fan to fan thing. You gotta, represent the team and whatnot, but I think I speak for the entirety of Jets Nation, all the diehard Jets fans. Adam Gase has to go. This offense is horrific, and these games are borderline unwatchable. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. So, there's actually a report coming out, kind of circulating this morning, came out actually an hour ago, saying that if the Jets look horrible against the Colts and the Denver Broncos on Thursday night,
right,
that Gase is going to be gone. That would be huge, right? So I'm not sitting here rooting for my team to lose, but given what we saw last year, given what we saw, through the first 2 weeks of the season, and granted, we played 2 tough teams, the Bills and the Niners, but I'm looking at this game where I'm saying, I think Indy might get another W, and that's just me being 100% honest.
We will get a W. And here's the thing, man. Jonathan Taylor, we saw a sample size of him, but I think he just had to kind of get the jitters out. This is the week where Jonathan Taylor runs wild and proves that he could be a Rookie of the Year candidate. You heard it here first. Jonathan Taylor is going to have a big week. He's running wild. And I kind of feel for the Jets. I really do, because you guys literally don't have any weapons. Like, what are you supposed to do? How do you get – and I'm going to ask you. Maybe you can answer for me, because it must be really hard being a Jets ambassador at this time. But how do you get so bad where you literally have no weapons? I know injury plays a part of it, but how did it get so bad? You have nobody.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the team, not the GM, the management, coaching staff, not being prepared as we go into the season. And then, especially with this weird offseason with the virus and whatnot, no preseason. Then you stack injuries on top of an already, young, inexperienced, thin wide receiving core and even offensive line core. It's just a recipe for disaster. But, I mean, as we stand right now, I know you just said it's tough being a Jet fan.
Right.
As we stand right now, if the season, continues to play out like how it is, the Jets could be in line for the number 1 pick, and that's something I've never experienced in my life. And I got to be honest with you, I'd actually be really, really excited to see what we do and who we take, because I'd be all in favor of going with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, man. I'm really curious. I'm going to ask you this too, honestly. Like, from a fan perspective, you have a lot of fans. You have one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Jets fan page on YouTube. If you're not following, go to fantofannetwork.com. Go under Jets, under Teams, under Jets. Make sure you follow Ian's YouTube channel. How do the fans react? Did they I was talking about this with Doug Lee, and they got a win. Miami pulled out a win. do you kind of feel like you're responsible for a lot? Do fans think, hey, it's kind of your fault? Do you kind of feel like when they lose, it's on your shoulders? How do you feel from a personal standpoint?
So, I mean, not necessarily like I feel like it's like my fault. And, one of the things in my favor was, being against the Gase hire to begin with. You can go back a couple of years ago and, pop on the video of when Gase was hired. And 5 minutes before I posted that video, I was, Gronk spiking my phone on the ground because I was pissed, And so a lot of Jets fans hated the hire to begin with. So everybody's kind of in it together. And it's almost like New York Jets fans against the New York Jets. Like, get this guy out of here. What are we waiting for?
Right.
So we'll see what happens. But I definitely see Doug's point of view. And, I do find myself like apologizing for every loss at the end of every video. And it sucks, but, things got to change.
You got to bleed the white and green, man. You just got to bleed it, and you got to live it. You got to be there. If you're a true fan, you got to be there through the lows and the highs. You can't just ride the train when it's hot. You know what I mean? So thank you, Ian, as per usual. I appreciate it. Good luck to you guys. It'll be another slaughter fest, and I think this will actually be a slaughter fest. Again, Jonathan Taylor is going to run all over them, man. It's going to be brutal. I feel for you, but I mean, if you pull up an upset here, like here's the thing. A lot of people are in these like pools. They do the spreads. They do the parlays, and if for some reason the Jets win, this is going to be a huge upset, man. It's going to be crazy. So
I think right now the Colts, as we stand, Vegas has them as like an 11.5 point favorite, which is a lot, but I feel pretty good picking that if you're a Colt fan.
Yeah, man. I think they're gonna win. All right, so thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Let's move on here. I'm excited about this one. Let's bring it in. We're gonna bring Matt, and everybody keeps asking about him. I don't see what the hype is. Where is he? Where's Big Cat? What is all the hype with the Big Cat? Where's Big Cat? All this hype.
Let me tell you this right here.
Oh my goodness. Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa! Oh my!
Spirit of the Panthers alive! Wakanda forever! Motherfucker!
Oh my goodness!
Let me tell you guys something. Today's theme for today's game is pressure raining down on me. Let me tell you something. There's pressures on both sides. The Panthers are 0-2 and they're desperate. They're desperate like a nigga on prom night. They gotta get a win. And they're going to face pressure up front. Jeremy Tiller, Joey Bosa, Linval Joseph. Which pressure is going to crack the first? Will it be the Panthers or will it be the Chargers? I'll tell you this right here. You guys are putting too much stock into Justin Herbert. I call him Justin Sherbert.
Whoa.
This guy's overrated. He went across the goddamn Kansas City defense that nobody... When have you known Kansas City defense to be known for defense? When have you known Kansas City to be known for defense? And you guys are praising him because of what? Oh, the spirit of the Panthers will claw. They will scratch. They will stack. And they'll get 2 interceptions tonight. Now, with all that being said, got to give them props, y'all. That defensive line's a motherfucker. Bosa, Linval, and Jeremy Tiller will be a handful. But I got us winning 27-24. You know why? Do you know why, Joseph?
Why is that? Tell me.
Got the spirit of the Panthers. Live forever. Wakanda forever. Oh,
I gotta keep your energy up, but you guys just lost CMC.
I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. I know what the record is. I know what the record is.
What about CMC?
Y'all got the tribal mask on today, and that means we win.
Are we completely?
You wrong.
Are we completely denying CMC is not on the field today?
Look, with all that being said, go ahead and start Austin Eckler in your fantasy football team and Jeremy Kelly. Tom Kelly.
They got a great matchup. Kelly's got a good, your rush defense not doing. Where are you, Matt? I mean, how do you top that energy? Where's Matt?
Where you at, Matt? Don't be running from me.
Matt is actually not, where is he? Matt said he's going to.
I'm here.
Matt, are you scared?
And I'm looking at the YouTube comments right now, and everything is, it's just, this guy has just a cult following. Like anything I say is going to be taken with a grain of salt, which should be done anyways, because I am a resident Chargers fan. I'm a Bills fan, but I have to cover the Chargers here. Okay, so to Big Cat's point, Justin Herbert played very safe last week. Very, very safe. He had 300 passing yards, but it was a very safe effort. And that's to be expected for a player who gets the nod seconds before he goes on. But, and Big Cat, I want you to talk about this, but how do you guys think you're going to do without Christian McCaffrey this week?
Yeah.
Against such a good defensive unit in the Chargers.
Look, all seriousness, man. The only way we're going to beat the Chargers is to Teddy Bridgewater got to get that ball out of his hand quick. I'm not looking for us to establish the run game. You know what I mean? There'll be some plays here and there, but this is going to be on Teddy today. Teddy's going to have to get that ball out quick, and I think they can. And look for Curtis Samuel to show up today. I know all about the Chargers. I know Eckler's a hell of a running back, and I know Kelly's a hell of a running back, and they got a hell of a tight end by the name of Hunter Henry that I think they got to watch out for. But the main thing for us is we can't beat ourselves. If you guys remember, and I don't think you're giving Tampa Bay credit because they got a pretty good defense down there in Tampa Bay. Antoine Winfield Jr. is a hell of a safety, and those guys flew around. If it wasn't for 2 turnovers by Teddy Bridgewater, you're looking at a completely different conversation. We probably would have won that game. So if Teddy Bridgewater can manage to hold on to the ball, I think we can win this game, 27-24. I know we ain't got Christian McCaffrey. I know Mike Davis is back there.
What's about expectations for Mike Davis? What are we expecting out of Mike?
Look, man, Jesus wept. I don't expect too much out of him. Again, you know what I mean? I would try to see them establish the running game early. You know what I mean? But I think they're going to go away from it eventually. I think they will try to come in with a game plan established, but that defensive front is terrorizing. It's nightmare. That's Jason Freddy Krueger shit. You know what I mean? I don't expect them to run on this team.
I think you're in trouble today. Honestly, all the hype aside, I think you're in trouble. You're the secondary. I mean, Chargers have a good secondary. Robbie Anderson, I don't know if he's going to catch a pass today. He's going to be in trouble. And your rush game, I don't know. I mean, you have no running back. You guys are in trouble. Let's be honest. And that's my first thing. And second thing, have you considered? There's people in the comments asking 2 things. Have you considered either A, playing for the Panthers because they probably need help this week, and B, a wrestling career?
No, I can't play for the Panthers. My knees are shot out, and I got a broken ankle from football. And yeah, man, I think I might become a wrestler. What should be my name, chat room?
Guys,
what should be my name?
We need a name, man. We need a name. How about
Mucho Cat, or should I stick with the Big Cat?
The Big Cat. What you gonna do, brother?
What you gonna do when the paws come down on you?
All right, we got to move on here. That is it.
You ain't got to move on.
All right, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And let's move on here. Thank you, Big Cat. Make sure you guys tune in every Sunday to catch the Big Cat in action. There he goes. He's checking out. He needs to go get some water. All right, so let's move on here. This is going to be a tough act to follow because we got the mellow, the chill dose of Dion coming in. And Arizona, what's going on, guys? How do you top that? Like, really, honestly.
Joe, this is the second time you made me follow this guy, man. I don't know what to do once he goes on. I'm just like, okay, he's got it, man. He took the MVP again, man.
All right.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Let's not do that again.
We'll have you guys start. We'll end it off with the Big Show every time. The Big Show. I call him the Big Show because I'm thinking wrestling. The Big Cat. All right, so yeah, let's start off with Arizona here, man. You're on the screen now. I mean, you guys, this is the week, man. Are you guys for real? You're a 5.5-point favorite. You're at home. You guys are red hot, but are you going to be tested? Galladay's coming back. We're going to talk to Dose Dion about that. But how do you feel going into this? You guys are, 2-0, possibly going 3-0 this week? What's happening?
Possibly is a very great possibility. It's 90% possibly 3-0 is going to happen.
Wow.
I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to take this. I respect Dose. We had a really good collaboration with each other. Love the guy. He's awesome. I have respect for the Lions as well, but I do not see a world where the Lions can beat the Cardinals. We're just we're too good right now, man. We're flying high with Kyler Murray possibly being MVP. All the talks are real out there right now, man.
Wow, that's confident. Dose, what do you think? There's a 90. Did you hear that? Not 1 or 2%, not 10 or 15, not 15 or 20, not even 70, 90 fucking percent. 90 fucking percent. They're going to win.
Hey, so he's basically saying we have a chance. That's what he's saying, all right? And I'll take that. I'll take that any day after you start 0-2. Hey, the one thing, we brought up, we were talking together, was this Lions passing attack versus that back end for the Arizona Cardinals. And I think that's where the Lions are going to eat tonight. I think Matthew Stafford, my guy Stafford here,
right?
I think he's going to have his best game so far this year.
What the hell is that? Is that a bobblehead? What the fuck is
it? It's a bobblehead box. All right. It's cool. It's got a handle and everything.
All right.
But, yeah, I think he's going to have his best game so far this year. You get Galladay back. You have Hawkinson, who, if you remember last year, the guy just went insane on the Arizona Cardinals. They tried to, kind of fix this offseason. Isaiah Simmons has been playing a ton. If the Lions are going to win this game, they need to score a lot of points. It has got to come from Stafford. I think he puts up over 300 passing yards. But they're going to give us the points. Arizona's going to move the football. Kyler Murray can run. Really, the whole defense as a whole is kind of a weakness at this point. So
is Galladay ready? Is he going to be 100, or is this going to be a decoy bullshit that Julio had, where Julio's out decoying with a hammy? Is Galladay like 100%? Do we know this, or is this going to be like a bullshit kind of? I'm coming out for 3 snaps, and I'm going out being a decoy.
Yeah. So I've heard that he said he's going to do everything he can to play. I've heard reports saying he's not 100%. But personally, man, I think him is just a decoy. Is going to make a huge difference. It's going to open up shots down the field. It's going to open up everything underneath. But I think if Galladay's on the field, he's going to make plays. I think he's just too talented. He's going to make plays. The cornerbacks for the Cardinals so far haven't really been great. We know there is some talent in the back end, but it hasn't been great so far. So I think once Galladay's on the field, he's going to get targets. Stafford just hasn't been taking shots in the first 2 games without him, but it's going to open up Jones. It's going to open up Hawk. It's going to open up Swift. We got a lot of weapons. This offense is talented. When we don't beat ourselves, we can put up a lot of points. We've seen that in the first 2 weeks. When they get rolling, they get rolling. So if we're going to win this game, we got to score over 30.
All right, game prediction.
You guys are forgetting that we have Patrick Peterson. I mean, Patrick Peterson was not in that very first game against the Lions, so you got to keep that in mind as well. He is going to lock down Galladay. I can probably see him get a couple receptions, maybe like 30 to 40 yards, but I'm not going to see a big game from Galladay. Come on, now we got Patrick Peterson out there.
And that's where the decoy comes in, man. I'm good with that. He could be your decoy because, you were talking about Drake Kirkpatrick. That's where I think Marvin Jones, those guys need to step up. They need to be big today. But I expect it to be big. I mean, you want to talk about desperation, Joe. We're 0-2. And if you've seen any of Lions fans in the past week or honestly before the season even started, most people want Matt Patricia out of here. They want this guy gone. They want him gone now. I'm not there yet, but I know he's got all the pressure on the world on his back, man. People are making videos saying that they're having meetings to fire this guy. He's got to win. And quick stat, he's 2-0 on week 3s. He beat the Patriots 26-10 and the Eagles, 2 playoff teams. So who knows, man? Maybe this is just his week.
Upset special, I think. They'll cover the spread. 5.5. I think that's a little extreme for the Cardinals, in my opinion, but we're going to have to see.
Yeah.
No, I see a W here. I mean, my prediction is going to be 31-17. Personally, I think Cardinals are going to take this.
Thank you. How about you, Dose?
Yeah, so I went with a different strategy this week. I've never done this before because I always pick the Lions to win. So I said, you know what? I'm going to pick them to lose because that'll make them win. So hopefully we try something different here. We've lost 11 straight. Might as well try whatever. And but I just don't be surprised if we win 31-24.
Lions have done that. They always keep it tight in games, man. I've watched them through the years. I think they're going to keep it tighter than people think, man. We're going to have to see. The Arizona train stops this week. I'm excited. Guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, we got to move on here. Let's go to appreciate you guys. Thank you. Good luck this week. Let's go on to the Buccaneers and the Broncos. Broncos crippled as well. Let's go here. Buccaneers. Why don't we start off with Liam? What's going on, Liam?
Man, what's going on, Joe? Energy is high today, man.
Yeah, how do you top off Big Cat?
This hair is going nowhere if the Bucs lose a game.
Look at that.
Shake my head, man.
Dude, you look like you should be on one of those those hair commercials, the hair conditioner commercials, man, with that hair.
It's fluffy. It's thick, man.
All right, so what's going on? Forget the hair. Is Brady showing up tonight? And what's going on with all this Gronk? I'm going to be a blocker now, all that news. Like, what's going on, man? Who's the primary target? Is Godwin in? I think he's in this week. What's happening?
Godwin's back. Gronk's, man, he's tight in the hips, man. He looks slow. I think that was more of a joke, him saying, oh, I'm here to just block. But, I mean, it's tough to get him the ball when we've got so many other weapons. I don't expect him to be much of a receiver at all this season. Godwin's definitely the guy. He's still my number one guy, even more so than Evans. You know, I know the Broncos were giving up a lot of chunk plays against the Steelers last week. Their passing defense has been struggling. I expect Tom to have a big day today, man. The Bucs offense as a whole, we've had another week to gel. Week 3 now. So I actually think he's finally going to have over 300 yards today. I expect a big day from Chris Godwin. And I think it's going to be a pretty easy win for the Bucs today. I mean, the Broncos are reeling. Talk about injuries, kind of like the Niners. No Von Miller, no Drew Lock, no Cortland Sutton. Phillip Lindsay's hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bucs got to take advantage of this right now.
Yeah, you're in trouble this week. Honestly, Denver, you guys are in trouble.
Yeah, it's not looking good for us right now. We have 6 of our best players are hurt. Drew Lock is out for 2 to 6 weeks. Von Miller is likely out for the year. AJ Bouye is out for another 2 weeks, our starting cornerback. Cortland Sutton's out for the year. So we got a bunch of young guys that are going to have to step up. And I don't think the Broncos will win this game just because you just can't be in the right man and say we'll beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers when you're losing half of your team that is already really young and inexperienced. But I think if we do pull out with the win, it will be because of one of these 2 reasons. Either Tom Brady's having nightmares of playing in Mile High Stadium. Because keep in mind, Tom Brady is 8-9 versus the Broncos in his entire career. He's 4-9 in Mile High Stadium. It's the only team in the entire NFL in which Tom Brady currently has a losing record against. And even though Jeff Driscoll's at quarterback, our defense, we've been giving up chunk plays, but for the most part, we've been pretty good. So if the Broncos defense can show up and hold Tom Brady to 20 points or less, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Jeff Driscoll could probably put up maybe 20 points, 21 points. Actually, that is sounding kind of unreasonable now at this point with how bad Driscoll is.
Yeah.
But I mean, he flashed against the Steelers, so I'm hoping for the best. But I'm not too optimistic for this matchup.
Yeah, and Driscoll's really going to have to step up because that Buccaneers run defense is solid, man. I highly doubt Melvin Gordon's going to be able to get anything going against this rush defense. So Driscoll's really going to have to step up. And going on top of your Brady has a losing record against the Broncos. The Bucs they've only ever won one time in Denver, and it was where I was born, all the way back in 1993. So
yeah, it's a different atmosphere there. It's literally a different atmosphere with the altitude, and then of course we usually pack that stadium with fans, and it's just a terrible place to play for opposing teams. But we'll have 6,000 fans in there today. It will be our first game with fans, so I'm hoping for the best, although expectations are not too high.
All right, final score.
I'm gonna be pretty bold. I'm gonna say 30-14 Bucks.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I'm going 24-13 Bucks.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. That's what I like about everybody here. Even though you're a team ambassador, you're keeping it real. You got to understand your weaknesses. You got to be real, right? It's got to be real. You can't say, oh, my team's going to win because I'm a fan. It just doesn't make sense. You got to keep it real, and that's what I like about everybody here. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Good luck to your teams. Let's bring on the Cowboys and the Seahawks. What up? And we got Norb on location. Where are you? Are you on the
right here, bro?
You're on the beach.
I'm on the beach right here in the famous Alki Beach, just around the corner from Central Link Field. We won't be in the stadium, but, man, we're going to be rocking it tonight because the reigning MVP leader at this point, Russell Wilson, is going to tear it up against that banged-up Cowboys secondary, man. I'm so excited about it.
I think you're ready to wrestle. I think you're ready to wrestle Big Cat there.
Yeah, bring him on, man. He probably weighs twice as much as me, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll take him.
You could take them. So what's happening? What are expectations? Does it continue? Does the train continue to roll through the Cowboys coming off an amazing comeback win last week, man? What happens? What's your prediction here, Norb? Honestly.
Oh, man. In my opinion, the Cowboys should be 0-2. I mean, they're lucky to even have one victory under their belt. If not for the Falcons crapping all over themselves,
shots
the
fired.
Cowboys should not have any chance of having that performance. And the Falcons gave Dak the opportunity to rack up all those numbers.
Wow.
It shouldn't have even been that close. So now you come against Seattle. Now, granted, our defense isn't all that spectacular right now. We got some issues and some injuries, but Russell Wilson, man, until he can prove otherwise that he's not the man, he is the man. I don't see that slowing down with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and all those other weapons. I expect another huge performance out of Russell Wilson and a big win. Stopping that Cowboys team. We just got to stop Zeke Elliott. They want to feed him. He has feed me on his stomach. So we got to put him on a diet and stop him from eating. We do that, we're going to get a big time win in this game.
All right, so we've got two ambassadors. I'm going to let them go wild on you because they're going to need two ambassadors to prove that they're actually better than you. So I'll let you guys run this. We'll start with Jordan, and we got Ryan. They need two of them to prove a case against Russell Wilson. What are your thoughts here, Jordan?
Going on, Cowboys Nation? The tag team champs for Cowboys Nation is here. So I see my guy Norbert taking walks on the beach, but I'll let you know right now, vacation time is over. The Dallas Cowboys are coming to put in work. We're coming to put in work. All week we've been hearing about how great the Seahawks are, how great Russell Wilson is, but what have they really shown to prove that? They were 1 yard away last week from being a 1-1 team, just like we are. So as you mentioned, that beast Ezekiel Elliott is coming to eat. We will feed the beast. Joe mentioned earlier, we do have the best running back duo in the NFL with Pollard and Zeke. So expect a lot of dual carries today. And then that wide receiving core, that great wide receiving core that we have in Dallas, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup, they have yet been able to reach the end zone. They will do that plenty today against Seattle as we take this victory and go 2-1.
Wow. Okay. How about Ryan? What do you got to think, man? I mean, Norb has made his case pretty clear. What do you think, Ryan?
Well, Joe, a lot of FTN fans have been commenting on like, what's up with the bleach blonde hair this guy has. And speaking of bleach blonde hair, I want to bring up a Ric Flair, the Nature Boy quote: "To be the man, you gotta beat the man." And right now, Russell Wilson is the man. But all I hear is all these so-called experts, Joe, talking week long about how the Seahawks are going to beat the Cowboys. Cowboys don't have a chance. They said this back in 2014, back when Russell Wilson was the man too. And guess what happened, Joe? Cowboys love being underdogs, and they're at their best when they're not expected to win. Cowboys to win this game 27-31.
Norb, do you want a rebuttal against this? I mean, those guys went at you pretty good and confident too. I mean, do you have anything to say, Norb?
I like how it has to go back to 2014 to cite a case as to why they're going to win this game. But we're talking about 2020 right here. That's a totally different team, totally different weapons. Russell Wilson's got one of the best weapons and receiving core he's had in years. Yes, it's going to be a high-scoring game because we don't have the Legion of Boom. I'm going to admit to that. But you guys got to remember, we got Jamal Adams, baby. And the only reason last week that Cam Newton threw for so many yards is our free safety, Quandre Diggs, was kicked out of the game for a head-to-head hit in the first quarter, which is a huge part of our secondary. So he's going to be here. He'll probably learn from that. No more head-to-heads. We're going to go head-to-head against you guys and stay in the game.
So
and
you guys are being dirty.
Slow you guys down, and Russell Wilson will do just enough in his MVP run to beat the Cowboys. I predict that they're going to win it in a high-scoring game, 37-31.
Wow. How about you guys? Final score prediction there from Jordan, actually. We didn't get your score.
I'll say, Norb, we don't have to go back to 2014. We can go back to when we played you guys in the playoffs and beat you last if you want to do that too. But I got the Cowboys winning this game 24-21. I know a lot of people think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think both defenses will come to play because it's America's game of the week, so everyone's going to want to show out. It's going to be a fun game, and I can't wait to get it taken care of and handle business to start off 2-1.
This is the game I'll be watching personally because, again, the thing is, it's a 4:00 game, so I'll be watching it. So that's the thing. And you can focus on it instead of all those 1:00 games. All right, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Good luck, Cowboys, Seahawks. We got to move on to the Packers and Saints. Zach, are you still here? You're going to cover the Saints for us?
Sir.
And we got Pack Daddy NFL covering the Packers, man. What's up?
Well, I'll start it off. This is going to be a pretty easy one. The schedule maker messed up by making this a primetime game because the Packers are out for blood. They're going to make this real quick work. That geriatric quarterback in New Orleans doesn't have anything left. The Packers, this for the Packers is all about respect. They went 13-3 last year. They went to the NFC Championship game and they got called frauds. All right, cool. So they come back next year. They've got second year in this scheme. They go up against the Vikings, who everybody says, oh, elite defense at every level. That they got Yannick, they got the linebackers, they got the safeties, they got it all. We hang 43 points on them. Oh wait, no, never mind. I forget. They're not a good defense. All right, cool. So we go up against the Lions. Lions play the Packers tight every single year. They're real hard to beat. We hang 42 on them. Highest scoring offense in football. Well, it's only because you're going up against bad defenses. Even though there's only 10 teams in NFL history that have put up this many points in the first 2 weeks. The last time being the Saints in 2009 when they won the Super Bowl. So, there's no respect. Matt LaFleur last year, you want to talk about a guy that's pissed off about not getting any respect. One of the best opening seasons for a head coach of all time. We went up 40-21 in that game. He went for 2 points and converted the 2-point conversion. You want to know why? Because screw you. That's why. So they're going to go out to New Orleans. They're going to smash the crap out of them. They're going to get their respect. And at the end of the day, people are going to say, well, it's because Drew Brees is washed up and all that. Fine. Keep talking like that. It doesn't matter because it's just firing up Aaron Rodgers. He's playing the best he's played, according to PFF, since 2010. He is the highest graded quarterback in the NFL. I don't want to hear about Russell Wilson and this nonsense. Highest graded quarterback in the NFL right now. He's tearing everybody up, and he's got the Saints next on their radar.
Man, what do you got to say about that?
Well, one thing I'm going to say about that is this week, Aaron Jones is not going to have a big week. He's going up against one of the best rushing defenses there. They haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher in the past 44 games. That's an unreal stat. 44 games without a 100-yard rusher, and that's not going to change tonight. I think Drew Brees, he hasn't looked elite. Aaron Rodgers has looked elite. The Packers, they're definitely people are dissing the Packers, but the Packers are a great team. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Packers suck. Aaron Rodgers is trash. The Packers are great. Aaron Rodgers has looked amazing. They put up back-to-back 40-point games. But I think one of the things is Drew Brees, everyone's calling him washed now. And
Decline.
I think Drew Brees is going to come tonight.
Decline.
He's prove that he can do it without Michael Thomas. Traquan Smith, he looked great last week. He's going to have another good week. Packers are without Devontae Adams this week. MVS, Alan Lazard, they're going to have to step up big. And I think one key player here, Alvin Kamara. Packers have already allowed 3 passing touchdowns to the running backs. I think it's going to continue again. Alvin Kamara will have a 2-touchdown game, and the Saints will win.
Wow. Okay. I think.
Alvin Kamara is going to have a big day, just like Dalvin, just like everybody else. It doesn't matter. Running backs have a good day against the Packers, and they keep winning. Devontae had like 30 receiving yards last week. We still hung up 42 points. Last year, Devontae missed 4 games. We're 4-0 in that stretch. I'm not too worried about it. And yeah, I'd love to make a little side bet if you can think of one about Aaron Jones coming up with 100 yards in this game.
You think he's going to have 100 rushing yards?
100 rushing yards, yeah.
I don't see
we'll figure something out. He'll get 100.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, I don't really see that, to be honest with you. Aaron Jones had a pinnacle game last week. Enjoy it. Adam should be good to go, right? He's 100%?
He's doubtful to play. He probably won't, but he might go.
Okay, that could be a problem for sure. And they're on the road. That's my only issue I have with the Packers. I like them a little bit better at home. So hopefully things work out, guys. I'm excited about this game. It's Monday night, and it's 2 exciting teams. So I'm ready to go. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. We're going to move on now to the Monday Nighter. But tomorrow, guys, tune in tomorrow because we do a Monday tailgate. But we still have Joe Nubo on right now. So, Joe, do you want to jump on here real quick? Because Ryan's not here. He's going to be coming on tomorrow to go head-to-head with you. But, man, this is an exciting matchup tomorrow. We got the Ravens versus the Chiefs. What are your thoughts here on this matchup?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. It's Mahomes versus Lamar, number 3.0. And as we know, third time is the charm. This game is being played in Baltimore, which is known as Charm City. I see absolutely no reason why that doesn't make sense and the Ravens should win. No, but listen, the Chiefs have the second most missed tackles in the league. 29. They've missed 29 tackles, only to the New York Jets, who have missed 40, which is extremely impressive. We have 3 guys named Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, and J.K. Dobbins. They all, accumulated about 200 yards of rushing on the Houston Texans. I feel like it sounds to me like they are keying in on stopping Lamar Jackson because they brought in that guy, Jordan Ta'amu, or whatever his name is. So I hope they do that because then they got to worry about our trio of running backs. I'm feeling pretty good. The defense is great. I'm not expecting to stop Patrick Mahomes. I'm not expecting to stop the Chiefs, but we just got to make one play to give us an extra possession. And I believe if we can do that, we should have this in the bag. I like my Ravens winning, but I do think it's going to be a pretty close game, but it's obviously going to be a great game to watch.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, Joe. We're going to have you on tomorrow. We're going to feature you and Ryan there for the breakdown Monday Night Football. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited about the games. I'm excited about week 3. So that's going to be one for the ages, man. It's going to be exciting. So thanks, Joe. We appreciate you, and we're going to get you on tomorrow. So that wraps it up, guys. Week 3 virtual tailgate, fan-to-fan network. Make sure you guys are following the website, guys, for all the latest news and notes from all the top influencers in the game. Thank you guys so much for being here, and week 3 is upon us. Good luck, and good luck with those fantasy lines. Make sure you guys follow the Fantasy Football Counselor podcast there, guys. Head on over to FanFanNetwork.com and, of course, thefantasyfootballcounselor.com for your fantasy updates. Thanks, you guys, for being here, and we are out. Man, that was intense. We'll talk.